Kathy, would you mind, just kind of, what does it mean to talk about families, as an emotional system? I think this is kind of that framework that Thomasina was talking about, is that there is, if once you understand the system a little bit, then there's tools out there, you can start to work with them a little bit. Is that what you're talking about? Can you go ahead and take it away?
It's a way of thinking about yourself, your family in this world. So I just want to give you this quote, which I found, which is, this is my way of understanding relationships. There are other ways, but for me, this has proved life-giving. So here's this quote: "What happens when we have no maps, no copies, no landmarks? We walk in circles." So for me, this theory has given me a way to relate to my family and the troubles in it, relate to client families, and to have a way of understanding families in a much different way. So let me see if I can give you as you know, this is a different language. So let me see if I could be very simple, and then you pick up on the points that's not clear. So here I am, an individual, but think of me as one part of a mobile, and you pull on one part and the others all respond. In other words, family members act as responsive and inseparable part of a unit. We are highly responsive to each other. Whether you have a daughter in New York and another one in Boulder, you are responding to them all the time. And the family is really the cauldron or the unit of inquiry. This theory says that human families function in predictable ways. In other words, when anxiety goes up, you can see predictable patterns happens in families. Some are more evident in some families, but there's predictable functioning when a family goes through anxiety. What causes anxiety? Different from all kinds of people, but it can be a marriage, a death, a great deal of money, a wealthy inheritance. It can be good or bad, but I think it makes the status quo have to seek a new level of balance. And in seeking, often problems pop up between family members. This is knowable. So human families function in predictable ways. There's ways to learn that, and that the functioning is that we are responding to each other in natural ways. It follows the science of human systems. We are not very far removed from other primates. And we have a brain, but often we operate with much more reactivity than thought. And Bowen theory postulates that if through study of your own family, multi-generationally, and yourself, you can manage the choice between reactivity or calm state. So let me give you an example. I'm sitting here in Boulder. I've got kids all over the country. I get an email from a daughter who says, my business is in trouble, and immediately I am activated. My automatic response would be to call her up and give her suggestions. Let's do pros and cons. What kind of help is that? Not much. My goal is not to give her a content answer, but to interact with her to help her get thinking again. So my call is substantially different from a reaction to a thought. And that is what I'm trying to do with families, is to motivate them to the best thinking to solve their problem regarding the relationships. And that's done with an understanding of the brain, anxiety, really good questions that get you thinking in new ways. It is not me telling somebody else to do something. So to sum it up, it would be knowledge of family gives you a choice between automatic reaction and thought. And I love this quote: you can't will a bean to grow, or you can't change anyone. You can't You can't make a bean grow by pulling on it. So the source of change is the individual self and their knowledge. I'm not trying to make anybody do anything. That would be different than many consultants. So it is me being the best thought partner with someone to stimulate their creative thinking. That is bing, 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 family systems, how you implement it in this practice. So I'll leave it to you or Thomasina to pick up on that.
Well,
But it is really this, we are all, our families determine so much of the way we automatically respond and how we can then pull ourselves out to be a self and think.
sure. So,
Phew.
no, that was great, Thomasina.